Hi, this is Glenda. I've just got a few random bits and pieces for you today. A few people have been talking about making glue gun stands, and so I just thought I'd show you what I do because I'm too lazy to make one. But I had one of these helping hands, and I just have that on my desk, and my glue gun sits like that, and that works perfectly for me. It's nice and weighted and does the job. If you're like me and don't and like your tools plain as they come and unfussied, that's really good. If you like to decorate everything up, you could paint it and bling it and put flowers on it. They don't all have this bit, which I think is for a magnifying glass, which I don't know if we ever had, but you know, pinch it from your husband's workshop, you'll never notice. Nobody ever really uses them. If you do need to use it, it's there on your desk, but that's what I use for my glue gun, so I just thought I'd share that since I'm in random mode. The next thing is I got this die it's a Nellie Snellen Folding die, and it makes rosettes, and I thought it was worthy of mention for a couple of reasons. One is it has a really low profile, so if you like rosettes, it's much flatter to put on your cards than, or if you're putting it in a scrapbook album or something. It's much flatter than, well, any of the other ones that I've tried, so that's really nice. The other thing is, what you do is you cut out two pieces, so you'll end up with two flat pieces like this, and it puts a slit up there, so you know, you end up with this piece which I've already folded because you don't want to watch me fold it. The easiest way I found to fold it was to go around and fold all of one direction and turn it over and fold all of the other direction and then concertina it. It's just simpler. So then you just put your two pieces together. It doesn't have all the strain that the rosettes normally have. I found a lot of mine would pull apart. I'd make them and then they just burst apart later, which is a little bit disappointing. So you just overlap one on each side. And then match up like that. And your rosette's done. None of this trying to fold it in, push it down, get it onto glue, all those delights that go with making rosettes. When that glue is set properly, I'll just push that in closer. Then you can put your, you know, piece front and back if you want to, and whatever you want to do with it. So I've only made the two so far, but that's, you know, I found them quite a good rosette if you're a rosette fan, which none of us were till Tim said they were cool. Anyway, the next thing I've been doing is I wanted to make my own, oh, now I've got a mental blank, enamel dots that are all the rage at the moment. So there's a whole lot of tutorials out there of all different ways of doing them. A lot of them involve buying colours of things, whether it be nail polish or something like that. I didn't want to spend any money on it. Actually, I meant to grab one more thing. What I found was easiest is the enamel accents make beautiful dots, but they're either black or white. Apparently these pens come in all sorts of different colours and make really good enamel dots, but I didn't want to buy a whole lot of pens. I want to be able to colour my own dots. When I use my alcohol markers, the dots go really dull, and that just doesn't work for me. Watercolours don't work because they're enamel. What else did I try? I tried, well, let's see, I'll show you. The first thing I did was I made them on my mat, and I put them in a little container at somebody's suggestion, and they stuck together. I thought, okay, first thing is we need a different storage system. So if you make them on a little bit of overhead transparency or something like that, you can just store them on it. Like these, I have painstakingly all removed and put a glue dot underneath. Yes, I'll spare you all the inky messes that I had. But the enamel accents, you can make your dots any size. This is not exactly new. So you just put them on your sheet, let them dry overnight. That's a Ranger product if you haven't seen it. I did try putting alcohol ink on it at this point, and the dots disintegrated and didn't work at all. So that was another failure. So I thought I'd share the only thing that has remotely worked, and that was these ones, and I just coloured them with ink. I tried the chalk ink and the pigment ink, and they both seem to work the same. These are both colour box, so I don't suppose it matters what ink it is. But these ones were done with that, and they've kept their shine. So, you know, just colour it up, leave it to dry. And so if anybody has a suggestion of how to colour it without spending a whole lot of money, nail polish seems to be the only thing that people have come up with that's consistent. I mean, a lot of people do say use your alcohol markers, but as I say, all the dots go really dull. I tried putting straight alcohol ink on it, and it's all blobby. I tried painting it on. These were just a Copic marker. This one that's probably the best there was one of a whole lot, and that was the only one that turned out where I put alcohol ink on it. This one's split in half, that's something new. Watercolour didn't work. Excuse me. This was re-inker, again, you know, none of them really worked, except just stamp pad. They're done with the pearl pen, and they're still very pearly. I wanted the enamel dot look, and they are expensive. They seriously, I mean, they don't look that different to a brad, and yet they work out way more expensive. So the next brilliant idea I had was Wink of Stella. Excuse me again. I had been thinking about this and thought, oh, that is really similar to my iridescent medium that you get in the art shop. I don't know if you can see the sparkle in that, but that and that cost about the same. Obviously you've got considerably more in a 75ml jar of iridescent medium than you have in a Wink of Stella brush. So I thought, why don't I put this into an aqua pen? Simple reason is it won't work. It's too thick, it doesn't come out of the pen, so it seemed like such a brilliant idea, but it wasn't. So anyway, I'll just show you quickly. These ones have dried, but here's the Wink of Stella pen, and it's sparkly but subtle. Here's the Jelly Roll pen, which is a much finer point and probably a little bit sparklier than the Wink of Stella, but very similar. The iridescent medium, if we take it more or less undiluted, is quite almost too pearly. I need to wipe this off. So here's some diluted Wink of Stella, and you're getting much closer to the look of the bought pens, but you haven't got the convenience. So if you're doing it, you know, if you've got a class of kids or something like that and you want the sparkle, some iridescent medium in a container with a normal paintbrush, probably diluted a bit, is going to be a nice cheap option in comparison, because I mean I've done all sorts of things with this bottle and it's about half empty, just a little bit below perhaps. So it lasts really well, even though it's not that cheap to buy in the first place. So I'll just check whether the camera's picking up that at all, but they're the sparkles on the different ones. So that's my 4 random thoughts for today, and maybe one of them will be useful. Thank you for watching.